everybody. This is Uncle Yab, and you're gabbing with Yab. Today, I'm doing a piece on understanding depression. It's been a while, you guys, since I've been doing a podcast, so just bear with me. I had to, I just relaxed for a little while. I want to make sure I got my stuff together, so I'm ready to do this and do it right now. Are you guys ready? Now, my topic for today is understanding depression. Depression is something that's really, it's a hard thing to understand. A lot of people don't know what's going on with a person when they have depression. And I'm just going to go over a few things with you guys. First of all, what is depression? You know, it's a mental illness, and it affects the mind as well as the body. And it can be bad, it can be mild, you know, and a lot of things can go into depression. Trust me. You know, I got a couple descriptions, a couple topics to talk about in regards to this topic here on depression. Depression has many symptoms, and it can cause many symptoms. You know, people who are depressed, they may lose interest in activities. You know what I'm saying? They can cut themselves off from others. You know, they can find little pleasure in life or whatever they do. A lot of times you may be growing up with a person, they may be full of life, but after that, you might see them one day or you might see them a couple of years from then, and you might say, wow, that person is not as bubbly as they used to be. That's because more than likely they're going through something, but you and I wouldn't know it. But it's just it could be something that's going on that you wouldn't really know about. And it's crazy. But, you know, a lot of times a person that's not going through depression won't understand. So you're thinking, how can that individual not feel good as I am, or not be as happy for life as I am, because that person's going through something? And you may just not know. You may just not know at all. A lot of time, most people may feel down from time to time. It's a natural response to stress and tension. And a lot of times, a person may take stress and tension different than others. You may have a problem at the job, or your job may be stressful and it could be tense, or you may be coming home and your household could be tense. And certain people deal with that certain ways. You know, you might have a stronger person that can deal with it by, you know, isolating yourself, or just finding other things to mask it or to kind of make it go away. But depression, these feelings are severe and they last a long time. So, I mean, if you guys out there suffering some type of depression, you know, we are here, and I do feel your pain. And if somebody's out there that needs some help, reach out to me. If anybody know me, reach out to me, and we can have a discussion on it, and we can talk. And by the way, you guys, if you guys want to help me out with my podcast, just give me a little donation or something like that. And you guys can go to http://www.buzzsprout, BUZZ, sprout, SPROUT.com/272-294. And that's where you can leave me a little something, and just let me know that you appreciate me. And donations are definitely welcome. All right, getting back to my topic. Depression is common, you guys. It affects millions of people each year, yet many people don't even understand it. Like I just said before, you know, I'm not a person that stays in the dumps or allow things to affect me, but you got others that do. So you can't just look at a person and say, wow, why is that person not doing good today? Or why isn't he or she, you know, laughing and talking and joking like me? Well, that particular person may just be depressed. Depression is often, you know, untreated and it's ignored. So a lot of times a person may not even know they're depressed. They may just be sitting in the house eating or crying for no reason. Well, not really no reason. They just might not know what's going on with them. A lot of times people may not recognize the symptoms. They may be afraid. They may think they're looking weak, and they may just don't want to express themselves to other people, especially their family. And as far as family is concerned, everyone that's involved with you is involved with your depression issues. If it's not treated, depression can affect all areas of life. That includes work, family, and friends. Remember, you guys, if it doesn't go treat it, if you don't get the proper treatment for it, it can affect your everyday life, your family, friends, kids, so on and so forth. So it's definitely a big issue, definitely a big deal. But it can be treated. So most people, they can start within a few weeks of treating depression, and you can get over it. You can overcome it. Now, a lot of people say, what causes depression? And a lot of times, it can be a variety of things. There may be several factors in depression. You got family history. You have major illnesses. Okay, it could be a change in certain brain chemicals. A lot of times, you may be experience some things, in your body that may trigger depression. You may be taking certain type of medicines that causes you to go into a dark place in your life. And definitely the main thing for depression is the use of alcohol and drugs. You guys, if you're going through something, whether that may be depression or something other than depression, you do not want to intensify with using drugs and alcohol, because that definitely will make it worse. A lot of times people, they tend to turn to drugs and alcohol as a way for escape, and that's not always what you want to do. That's definitely not the answer. A lot of times major life changes will cause depression as well, both positive and negative. Changes can increase the risk of depression, and a couple examples include promotion in your job or a death in the family. A lot of things can affect different people different ways. Now, as far as medications you may want to take, if you use medication alone with other drugs, it can cause the effect that seems like depression is not curable. But you definitely have to seek out a doctor. And to let you guys know, depression can affect anyone. It can affect older people. It can affect kids, middle-aged adults, young adults. And it just and it can affect men and women. A lot of times a woman is known to have more depression effects than men, due to different things in the body chemistry. And that could be dealing with pregnancy and stuff like that. A lot of women, after they have babies, go into a depression state. And no one knows why, but sometimes having a baby or bearing a child with a woman is hard. So a lot of times they can go into a depression state, and a lot of times it won't be diagnosed, or someone will miss that. Okay? You have a lot of changes in your feelings when you're dealing with depression. These also may include things like, a loss of interest in things that you may normally be doing. Like you may like to go home and watch TV, or you may like to go home and talk to your significant other about your day at work. When you're depressed, you may just go home and go to bed. A lot of times people sleep a lot. And a lot of times when a person sleeps, just like sleeping all the time, that can be a sign of depression. Being unable to enjoy things. You may stop laughing and smiling. That's another form of depression. And you may ordinarily be a person that will get a joke, or come home and feel good about yourself. But if you can't get it together this particular time, or it's been months where you just feel down in the dumps, that's definitely depression. Feeling guilty is another way of depression. Losing your self-esteem. And that's a lot of us. When you lose your self-esteem about maybe where you look, or you may have gained a little weight, that can cause you to go into depression as well. And once again, that can be amongst men, women, older folk, and also kids. Peer pressure is another big thing, especially with kids and teenagers going to school, because other kids are real cruel when it comes to each other. They'll call each other names and stuff like that. Dealing with the Facebook. They saying things back and forth on the Facebook, and that can also cause you to go into depression, thinking that a person may not like you. And that's definitely not true. You may have a loss in sexual desire. That's another symptom. Okay. Suicidal thoughts may creep up. And if that happens, you guys, make sure you get help, because that's the last thing that anybody or any one of us want to go through, suicidal thoughts. So if you have a family member that's going through depression or keeps itself isolated from others, see if you can get he or she out of that loop and get them back into where they need to be. Okay. Changes in behavior and attitude. That stuff is general. You might have a change as far as generally slowing down. You may be a person that like to go, but if you start to slow down and start to lose interest, that can be a sign of depression. Not caring about things that you have to do. You may need to come home and go to the grocery store, or you may need to go get some clothes for yourself, or your kids may need some books or something like that for homework. When you stop caring about things, general things, the things that you need to be caring about, that's also a sign of depression. Poor memory, that's another thing. Poor memory, not being able to concentrate. When you have things on your mind and you can't concentrate on the small things, that's another depression issue. Hurting yourself, such as cutting your skin. Now, a lot of times you may see that with young adults, but older adults do the same thing. And people cut themselves and harm themselves due to depression. So you may want to take my advice and just always be observant if you know a person that's kind of like shying away from you, and just kind of talk to them. You also got physical complaints. Okay, changes in sleep, waking up early, sleeping too much, a lack of energy, a lack of appetite, and people got to eat. You got to eat. So if you're not eating much, and if you're not sick, you have a lost appetite. Depression may be sinking in then, you guys. Weight loss and gain. Now, this is something that I know from myself. Like I said, I always try to use myself in reference to my podcast. When I was going through my divorce and everything a couple of years ago, I had lost a lot of weight due to the fact that I may not have known that I was going through a depression, but that's probably what it was. And a lot of times I didn't know what was going on. I just thought I was just calling myself losing weight and get healthy. But it could have been a form of depression. But I bounced back, and anybody else can do it, you can too. Okay. Not paying attention to what you look like. A lot of people get depressed and they go out here. They might just don't care what their hair look like when they go outside or when they go to the store. Just don't even care what's going on. And naturally, you might be a person that will let me put some makeup on if you're a woman. Or you're a man, you're going to make sure you get your hair cut and looking decent. If you're depressed, or you may not feel good about yourself anymore, you may go out looking like who done it and don't do it again. So it's crazy. It's crazy. You might have headaches, back pains, stomach pains, changes in your bowel habits. A lot of that stuff is a form of depression too. So if you guys are ordinarily healthy and something going on with you that you think, you could be a little depressed. Could be a little depressed. And there are several common types of depression. You have major depressions, that way you may get in the way of daily activities, or you continue for months or years and not treat it. Okay, it could come on quickly due to a loss, or crisis, or a change in your situation. You may have a seasonal affect disorder. It may come on during the changes of the season. You may get depressed, when it's raining or during the winter time. A lot of times people are going to a depressed state as well. And it's definitely a lot of things that you can look at as far as being depressed. If you guys need more information, just Google it, or just talk to your doctor if anyone's out there in my audience that's having problem with depression and things like that. Treating depression, it usually includes medication, psychotherapy, or both. You definitely want some type of medicine, And all the medication is just a small drug that you can take. Okay? And if you want to take any herbal supplements, that'll help you out too, because a lot of times you may have a lot of people that's holistic, that's dealing with herbal things that may be natural for you. But the best thing that I will always say is to make sure you stay close to your family and friends, because me personally, and the way I look at things is, it's nothing wrong with letting somebody know what's going on with you. Never shut your family out. If you can find somebody that'll sit down and talk to you or make you feel better, then that's one step. That's what you call good medicine. A lot of times you don't always have to go to a therapist or a psychiatrist and things like that. That could help, but most of us may not have the money to do so. But if you can, get with somebody that has a good ear and know you, and just talk. Just talk. Because talking, listen to good music, and just weighing your options of what you need to do in life to get back to where you used to be. And it just that's the way you should be in the handle, the way you should treat it. That's just my experience, and that's just the way I feel about it now. I'm not a doctor, you guys, but I'm just a regular person just like you guys. I'm Uncle Yab, and I'm here because I love you guys, and that's what I want to talk about today. Okay, and if you want to seek out people that'll help you out with depression, you got your psychiatrist, you have social workers, you have licensed professional counselors, you have psychiatric nurses that can help you out. And if you want to also go to your healthcare provider, they can also help you out as far as depression stuff like too. You have different sources. You have your community mental health centers. You have spiritual leaders, your preachers and your pastors and things like that at church. General hospitals. A lot of hospitals have areas or different program where you can go and check yourself in, let them know that, hey, I'm feeling bad, I feel like hurting myself, and the hospital will take you in and put you in for observation and have someone talk to you as well. They still have mental hospitals around. I'm not sure where they are, but I think they have a few around. A lot of them have been closed down, but I think you might have a few in your neighborhood, in your cities and towns. You also have your clinics, your family service agencies. You got self-help groups, and also your schools and employers. Have somebody provide counseling. Counseling is definitely good for you. Also, marriage and family therapists or other professionals in private practice can also provide help. And if you want to learn more about it, you can understand the facts about depression. What you want to do is once you recognize the symptoms, get help if you have symptoms of depression. Because depression can be treated, you guys. And if you feel as though you're under stress and you have suicidal thoughts and things like that, get some help. Once again, this is Uncle Yab, and I'm talking to you about different things in life, and we're gabbing with Yab. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.